Hello, everyone. Welcome to the City of Lebanon Board of Zoning Appeals meeting for Monday, December the 5th. Could we have roll call, please?
Okay, Chad Kiger.
Here.
Bruce Polly.
Here.
Ron Edwards.
Here.
Lori Gross. Here.
Okay, we've got everybody here tonight.
Present.
Has everybody looked at the minutes, and if there's no questions, would like to get a,
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting last month.
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting minutes are approved. We have one big item tonight. It's docket 2275, Shane Connor for S&C Property Group, LLC. The property is located at 235 West Cox Avenue here in town. The property is zoned planned business industrial and comprises of 0.96 acres.
Good evening, Board. Hope everybody's had a great day today. We'll try to walk through this project and get everybody out of here in a timely fashion. If you want to pull up the screen here, the property in question is on the south side of town, formerly the Bottoms Up Bar and Grill. As you can see, I-65 to the north, State Road 39 is just off the map here, and then the Flying J truck stop is along the south and western sides of this property. This existing structure, as I mentioned, was a former Bottoms Up Bar and Grill that for about a year was under unsafe building order through our code enforcement department here with the city, and the previous owner was unable to accommodate or come up with the resources to make the necessary repairs to the building, thus has since sold the building to the applicant that's here tonight. The applicant, Mr. Connor, Shane Connor, has invested significant amounts of money already in the demolition of the interior of the building, is working on repair of the exterior of the building, and has a plan to relocate one of his companies out here, and in an effort, in order to do so, needs to add some additional space. So he is proposing to add an approximately 3,200 square foot addition to the existing structure that would accommodate additional office space and warehousing. Pull up the plan here. Now, because the existing building the existing building is zoned planned business industrial and would require a 50-foot setback along the rear of the property. But the current building has a 20-foot setback, so which means it makes it a legally existing non-conforming building. The applicant is proposing to add an additional extension to the building while maintaining the existing 20-foot setback along the western property line, so along the parking lot side of the Flying J truck stop. So you can see down on the southern side here is the existing building, and then the proposed addition is along the northern side here, on the northwest side of the parcel. As you can see from the previous conditions, large parking lot, partially gravel, partially paved. The applicant is proposing to make other necessary site improvements along with this addition to bring this up to a more suitable standard when it comes to the Unified Development Ordinance. So the applicant is looking for relief from the rear setback of the addition to the building to allow a 20-foot setback as opposed to the 50-foot setback as required by Planned Business Industrial. So as we go through the statutory requirements that you're all well aware of, kind of walk through each of those briefly here. The relief from the rear setback requirement poses no imminent threat to the public health, safety, welfare, or general morals of the community. The existing building currently maintains a setback that proposes no issues to the current neighbors. The requested variance for setback will not affect the use and value of the adjacent properties in a substantially adverse manner. The variance relief request allows the existing building to maintain its current setback and the building addition to maintain the same setback as the existing building. Adjacent properties will not be impacted by allowing the existing and the proposed buildings to maintain their current setbacks. And then lastly, the strict application of the terms of the UDO would result in practical difficulties in the use of this property. Because the proposed building addition, the UDO would require the site to be brought up to the current standards, thus requiring the existing building to be moved 30 feet to the east and cutting off approximately 30 feet on the eastern side when that is moved. In addition, because of the shape and size of the property, the strict application would essentially make this site useless for any sort of development. As you can see on the screen here, they've highlighted this dashed triangle that my cursor's going along. Those are the setback requirements for planned business industrial. So you've got a 50-foot front setback, a 50-foot rear setback, and a 25-foot side setback. So the only thing that would be allowed, if we were to strictly apply the terms of the UDO, would be building within this small triangle here. So with the review of this application, the City of Lebanon Planning staff does recommend approval of the development standard variance request to permit relief from the rear setback requirements of the Unified Development Ordinance. And I'd be happy to answer any questions, and the applicant's here as well.
I have one. By granting the variance, setback variance for the new building, by granting the variance setback for the new building, does that automatically bring the old building into compliance, or how's that work?
Well, it wouldn't necessarily bring the entire building into compliance, simply because we do have some on the east side. If we pull up the site plan again, we do have some along the east side here that would still consider the building non-conforming because it is not within the 50-foot front setback. So the entire site would not be considered conforming, but the new structure would be permitted to be built with that 20-foot setback as opposed to the 50-foot. But it would not bring the entire site into compliance, simply because the planned business industrial setbacks, that zoning district has some pretty substantial setbacks, and the existing building, unless you cut off a portion of it or moved it or turned it, which obviously is not feasible, the whole site could not be in compliance.
Bruce, are you referring to the variance or the condition that the building was in?
Referring to the backside, which would be the south side. They're taking the building on east, which we would grant approval, or,
The variance would apply for the whole thing?
yeah.
It'd be
variance would-
grandfathered in, basically?
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Do I have any other questions?
Yes, I know you've already looked at this, but is he gonna have plenty of room for his trucks to get in and out into the parking lot?
Yeah, I'll let the applicant speak to the actual use, the proposed use that he has for it. But as far as the parking lot spaces and all of that, everything meets our city standards. But as far as the use, if there's going to be, semi-traffic is probably not going to be accessible to this site, but certainly box trucks and things
Right.
that Mr. Connor's business is in could certainly utilize the site.
Thank you.
Kelly, you looked really puzzled a minute ago. Did you
Oh,
have
I'm
a-
just listening.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Connor, do you have anything you want to add?
No, sir.
Or do you want, okay.
I guess the only thing that I would like to add is that, the intent of this is to run my electrical contracting company out of this. Currently, I'm off of Ransdale Road, and with, I purchased this building, which has been a challenge, because it was in a lot worse state than what I figured. And when I first purchased it, I didn't know exactly what I was going to do with it. But now of course, with all the growth that's going to be happening, I just thought, instead of throwing my advertising budget at something else, 50,000 cars drive by this, property every day, and I just thought it would be a good choice for me to move my business there, just for that. But, what we have done thus far, just so everybody knows, because there were legal ramifications that I wasn't aware of when I bought the building because it was unsafe. They were never disclosed to me. We pretty much have demoed everything out of there. If you drive by it, I leave the lights on at night just so nobody actually breaks in the building. It's down to the stud walls, replaced all the floor, got all the trash out. Just recently had Young & Sons go out and rip off all the asphalt that was there. Some of it was 3 feet thick. But, as far as speaking to the semi-traffic and whatnot, we're more of an The construction process that we use is called Agile, so we really don't take deliveries in. We're not a supply house. You know, it's pretty much my estimators and engineers that will be working out of that. And then the warehouse, what I'm proposing on adding there will just be housing my tools and my expensive items, because when I added on to Ransdale Road and I added on another 4,000 square feet there, I realized that I definitely needed it, just because I didn't. But, you know, with that being said, I plan on matching if you pull up, you'll see a little breezeway there between that and the new building. The new building is strictly probably going to be a warehouse. I plan on bricking it and making it look exactly the same. I'm more of a symmetrical type of person, so I really don't want it to make it look like it's been a building that's been added onto a building that's been added onto. So my whole goal was to make the whole thing brick, keep the same lines of the windows. There's a ridiculous cowl on the side of the building that's in cinder block that I just ordered a brand-new bay window for that, so it's going to be a big window. And then on the end of that, which would be on the east side, that exact same window is going to be on that. So everything should have a nice flow to it. So, you know, I've been in this community for a long time now. I have grandkids, and my family lives here. So in the end, you know, we are a superior contracting company, and that's, the image will be portrayed there. This is my third building in Lebanon that I've fixed up, and every building that you've gone by, any building that I've done, I've really taken a lot of pride in just because it's my company. So in the end, I want the city to be proud of it, because I drive by that every day. When it was bottoms up, the place was a joke. I didn't appreciate the place that was there before, and I'm hoping the city will be proud of it, especially right by the 39 there that says pretty much welcome to our city of Lebanon. So,
Thank you. Any questions for me?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, would anybody in the audience care to say anything? It's a public meeting. I guess we'll close the public end of the meeting, and if there's no further questions
I'll make a motion to approve docket number 22-75 as written.
Second.
Okay, Chad Kiger,
Aye.
Bruce Polly,
Aye.
Ron Edwards,
Aye.
Lori Gross. Aye.
Motion carries. Congratulations. Good luck. Do we have any other business for tonight? Being this is the December meeting, do you want election for next year, or wait till next month, or what do you want to do?
We didn't add it to the agenda, so we'll go ahead and put it on the agenda for the January meeting and do it then.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Okay, we'll close the meeting if, I guess I had to have a motion. Make a motion to,
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
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 Meeting is adjourned.